Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Joey again. You're watching VegasDtech, and I am back with another e-bike review for you. And today we're going to be taking a look at another fat tire folding style e-bike, and it's by a company called Heybike, and this is the Mars 2.0. Let's have a look. Alrighty guys, we've seen all that. Let's go ahead and pull it out of the box and see how difficult it was to assemble. Let's go. Alrighty guys, the Mars 2.0. Let's build it. Alright, we have a flip-up seat with a dampener stem for shock absorption in the back. Alrighty guys, so there you have it. Heybike Mars 2.0 put together. It was pretty easy to put together. Normally when they come in small boxes like that, there's more assembly required. And in this situation right here, you're going to have to put on the fenders, the back rack, tail light, the neck stem, pedals, front fenders, and that's pretty much it, man. So not too bad at all. I'm going to go ahead and go through this thing and do a quality on it, which I would recommend that you do. Check that your calipers are not binding. Check that your axle bolts are nice and tight. Air up these tires, make sure they're up to about 20 pounds, and go ahead and charge up your battery and get that thing fully charged. And so the next time that you see me, guys, we're going to bring this out to the test circuit and see how it performs. See you out there. Alrighty guys, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at here at the specs and features. First of all, the battery, 48 volt, 12.5 amp hour battery, good enough for 45 miles, pedal assisted, or 30-35 miles if you're just strictly using the throttle. We're going to tie that into the motor, 750 watt, 1200 watt peak, and it also comes with 80 Newton meters of torque, which is really going to help you climb up these grades and hills in your areas when you need them. We're going to have a 7-speed Shimano cassette tied into the Tony derailleur, and it does come with a protective guard. We have an anti-corrosive chain, and we're going to have these plastic fold-up pedals as well. Coming over to the front, guys, here we're going to have the twin fork adjustable suspension with your preload and your dampener, which is going to be all the way open or all the way shut. So either you're going to have rebound action or it's going to be fully stiff. In the rear here, we do not have a dampener or any kind of shock absorb system, but we do have it integrated into the seat stem. Alright, so we have a soft seat, and you're going to have this bounce action right in the seat stem, which is going to absorb all those blows. In the front here, guys, we're going to have the tires 20 by 4 inch. It's going to be on some knobby tread. Now, I like these accents that they have in the wheels here with these red little accents. It looks really cool, but I do believe that it serves an actual functional purpose. And I think that they took these little teeny holes out of the rim to lighten it so that there's less rotational mass in the tire. Coming around the other side here, guys, we're going to take a look at those rotors, and we're going to have 180 millimeter rotors. And those rotors are going to be tied into mechanical calipers. We also have front plastic fenders and rear plastic fenders. Now coming around here, guys, we have a unique looking bike rack right here, and it's kind of cool because it's got this little pegboard design on the side. Now Heybike makes these attachments that actually clips into the pegboards, which are going to give you the ability to like put water bottles on here, your bike pump, or attach your cable for your clamp for security. Me personally, I had a problem putting my bag on because it's held on with Velcro, and trying to get those Velcro through those little vents there was okay, but then having to come back around and feeding it back in to attach it, it was pretty much of a pain. You know, eventually I got it in there, but if you're going to be taking bags on and off, this is probably going to be something that it's going to frustrate you. The next thing I like here is the way the battery is here. The batteries, guys, I like it down here in the middle like this instead of it being in the frame, because I believe that it helps the balance of the bike. And also the flip up seat right here is going to allow you to get access to this battery, so it's a well engineered design to be able to get it in and out without a lot of frustration and problems. Good design. Moving up to the top here, guys, we're going to take a look at that handle right here. We're going to have the paddle style handle grip with the end bar lockouts here, so you can adjust them, set your angle, and they shouldn't slide around on you. We're also going to have your thumb throttle. We're going to have the 7-speed index thumb shifter here made by Shimano, as well as your mechanical rear brake lever. Coming over to the other side here, guys, we're going to have the exact same thing as the other. You're going to have the left hand side paddle grip. It's going to have the bar end locks just like this right here. You're going to also have your front mechanical brake lever, headlight button, your horn, and you're going to have your control panel here, which is going to send all of your commands over to your display. Speaking of a display here, guys, we have a nice, beautiful, easy to read display. Taking a look at the top here, you're going to see the battery bar meter right there, which a lot of people like, but I personally like the voltage meter. That voltage meter for me comes in way handier because it gives me a better insight as to what the health truly is and the capacity of what's inside my cell. You could just go ahead and use the typical bar up on top, but a lot of times it's not accurate enough, especially if you're going to be going long distances. I also like the Bluetooth. You're going to see a Bluetooth indicator here because you're going to be able to communicate via a phone app into your smartphone. You're going to be able to set all the settings instead of having to hit buttons and stuff. You're going to set it in your phone app, and it's going to set all of your commands. You're looking at your miles per hour right here. You're going to have your power assist levels, which is controlled by the control panel up and down here. And you're going to look down on the bottom, and you're going to actually see here, you're going to have a motor wattage. This combined with the voltage up top, the motor wattage is going to tell you just how much power your battery is supplying to your motor, or how much power your motor is pulling from your battery, and then combine that with that voltage up top. You're going to get a very good understanding as to how much energy you actually have in your power cell and how efficiently your motor is working. We do have a front headlight here, 4 LED, and you know, during the day it doesn't really show much, but I can tell you at nighttime those 4 LEDs come in quite handy. Now take a look at this back brake light. I know it looks ridiculous. It does not do this, guys. It's just the frame rate of the camera. It's making this thing do this. Now I'm going to hold the brake. That right there is how it works. That's pulsing. Okay, and then it just does this because the frame rate is just ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. I don't know why it's doing all this. But anyways, guys, we've talked enough about the features and specs of this bike, man. Let's go ahead and get this bike out here on this test circuit and see exactly how she performs. Let's go. All right, guys, here we go. Taking the Mars 2.0 out on its maiden voyage here. Initial feelings on this bike, very smooth. Tires sound very quiet. We got a very smooth ride on here today, guys. I got this unlocked. I got it into a class 3 mode right now, which should allow it to go up to 28. Currently cruising at 27. Not using any throttle, just foot pedaling. I'm in 7th gear. And man, this bike does have a lot of power. I can feel the power of the torque. That 80 Newton meters of torque, that is like a standard, man. I'm almost depressed whenever I review a bike and I take a look at it and it says the Newton meters are down in the 60s. I'm like, man, if you are in a flat city, that might work fine for you. But if you've got, you know, a type of a city that has lots of hills and, you know, grades and bridges and so forth, like what we're going to climb on up here, you're going to need that torque to help get you up. And we're going to see just how good this is right here. So we're 26.5. We're hitting 28. I'm going to go ahead and lay on the throttle and try to climb up the backside of this bridge right here. And we're dropping down to 23.4, 23.3. Holding 23 miles per hour coming across the bridge. Coming down the other side here. The bike is not governed, so you're going to be able to go however fast your downhill allows you. And we're hitting about 26.7, 27 to 28 miles per hour bike. So as long as you're like giving it some spin on your pedal, which is a cadence sensor, and you giving it throttle, you'll get your 27, 28 miles per hour. And right now I'm getting about 26 and a half, 27 and a half miles per hour coming down the backhand stretch here. The padded seat combined with that shock absorber, man, it gives it a really comfortable ride. I could ride this thing all day. Right now I'm currently ghost pedaling, not really able to help the motor at all. It's pretty much doing it all by itself. Coming back around Green Valley Ranch Casino again, down the back of the bike trail here. And yeah, I'm just trying to pedal it and showing that we're kicking out about 1,000 watts on a flat, drop down about 600 in a cruise. Looks like the battery's putting out about 600 to 700 watts, maintaining 26, 27 miles an hour. Does not have a cruise control, at least none that I've found. Maybe there is something in the app. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with that, but we'll talk about that a little bit more here. later on in this video. Let's go ahead and make a U-turn and work our way back. The very nice thing about the application is on your cell phone, the Bluetooth app allows you to customize how you want the bike to perform in power assist levels, total max speed. It's got proximity sensors on there to lock and unlock the bike for you as you walk away from it. Makes for a more immersive and intuitive ride. I can see that we're pushing out more watts coming back, so we have a little bit of an upgrade going back this way, because we're only using about 600 to 700 watts going the other way, and we're pulling about 800 to 1,000 watts going the other way. So that's a good indicator right there. If you don't know if you're kind of going up a slope or not, you can tell by how much watts your motor is pulling. I had a full battery prior to coming out here this morning, and it looks like we just lost one tick just doing this little high-speed test run here, full throttle. So coming up the bridge here, 24, 23 miles an hour, coming across the top. No regenerative braking, so if you have to do any braking, that's strictly through your brakes. And these come with mechanical disc brakes. Hitting 27 miles, 28.3 coming down the backhand stretch here. And for the most part, I'm just giving it throttle. I could let go of the throttle and try to bike with my pedals, but like I say, you're ghost pedaling at above 22 miles an hour. But as long as you're rotating your crank with a cadence sensor, it will send the signal to the motor to give you the maximum power, which right now we've got on this stretch. It looks like with some pedal power, I'm only dropping down to 400. Suspension's nice and smooth. And you know what? That battery tick that we lost, it actually regenerated. So that must have been a little bit of battery sag. You know, anytime you're hammering on the throttle for long periods like that, you're gonna create battery sag in your voltage. But once you come back and you start coasting and you're not demanding anything, you look at your battery meter, it'll go right back to full bars again. So I'm gonna try to bring you in just a little bit closer there so you could see it, okay? So if you could take a look at this right here. So the bars went back to full and it says 49.9, look, 50, it just jumped up to 50 volts. So that's the battery sag recovering from being on a, you know, taking a break. All right, well, let's go ahead and get over to the incline and test how this bike does on an incline. So guys, we are back here at the St. Rose Bridge overpass, and it's gonna have two of these inclines. So the first slope I'm going to take with throttle only and see what kind of speeds we can get. And then the second part of it I'm going to take with throttle and pedal to see what kind of speeds we can get with pedal assist. And I've given the battery enough time to come back from its battery sag. And if you could take a look here, see, it's just really weird because at one point 2 of these bars were down and it was showing me 46 volts. And now that I've given it a chance to recuperate and catch its breath, the battery came back to its full meter and 49.2. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to take this bike up on this overpass and do the slope test right now. All right, so here we go with throttle only on Power Assist 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13.8, very good. 13.8. I said anything above 12 miles an hour, that's good climbing ability, okay? So the second part right here, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna combine it with pedaling and see what we get here, okay? Here we go. So we're at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14.6. So it's a great hill climber, man. Like I said, that 80 Newton meters. If you guys pick a bike, I would highly suggest that you guys focus more upon the torque, because that's going to become very important to you, especially if you're navigating your ways up and down bridges, because we don't all live in a perfect, environment where everything is absolutely flat and smooth. we're gonna have some challenging areas that's gonna require you, to pedal, and you're gonna lean on your motor to help get you up those grades. So guys, select bikes that have good torque. All right, upcoming next, man, is gonna be the brake test. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna take this brake test right now. I'm a little leery on this one because I'll be honest with you, these brakes felt a little bit soft and I could not get them to lock. So I've always been able to press really hard and get the brakes to lock. I'm gonna test these out. This one I'm a little bit nervous about. Anytime I can't get a brake to lock up, I hate coming down these slopes like this and trying to nail them. But let's just go ahead and see what we can get here. Let's go. 10, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, lock. Well, we got them to lock, man. We got them to lock because I was squeezing for my life. All right, and that came quick, man. I thought this was too close. Today, for some reason, this amount of braking distance seemed too close, but I went ahead and started right here just like I did with all the other bikes, and the skidding happened right about here is where the skidding started. So for the first, like, say 15 feet, when I nailed the brakes, it didn't do the lockup. It started to slow down, and then I was getting really scared, so I squeezed for dear life, and then the lockup finally happened at the remainder 15. So if we divide this by 30 feet, the first 15 feet was just the slow down process, and then the last 15 feet, we got the lockup. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and whip this thing around and do another emergency braking on the flat. 10, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, and now. So yeah, man, if you hammer on the brake, you will get the slide. I tell you, it's a little bit more difficult to get that skid on these knobbies, so I'm not blaming that. If you really want those skids, it has to be those smooth tires. But these are the knobbies that are all-terrain. Getting these things to lock up and skid is really tough because it's got really good traction, especially on this stubby asphalt. Alrighty guys, so we've come to that part of the video. We need to talk about pros and cons. What are the pros and cons of the Heybike Mars 2.0? So right out the gate, the number one pro on this bike is that it's a huge upgrade from the original Mars. This 2.0 here went from a 500 watt hub motor to 750 with a 1200 watt peak. Now it's a class 2, which is locked to 20, but when you unlock this bike via the app, this bike will be a class 3 bike, which can go all the way up to 28 miles per hour. It also comes with that 80 Newton meters of torque. The second feature that I like about this bike is how Heybike incorporated the voltage meter and the watts into this unit right here. Those are very, very useful features here, guys, especially when you want to know how far you can ride your bike and the current status of the power within your cell. You can utilize this little graph right here, but that indication right here doesn't always tell you what's really going on. If I would have just went with the battery indicator without any kind of a voltage reference, I might have been worried, because I wouldn't have understood battery sag until I was able to confirm that with what I have over here with this voltmeter. Combine that with your wattage here. Most avid bike users that like to use the bike and want to ride for longer ranges, they will utilize those two features right there. The third thing I like about this bike is the fact that I am a fan of a battery actually being under the seat as opposed to being in the frame. I know the in the frame look is a lot cleaner, and not having this out here, it does look cleaner, I admit it. But for me, I like having access to my battery. I like being able to go over here and actually hitting this thing and getting my indicator to tell me, okay, what my battery is. When you have the battery inside your frame, you don't have the ability to go there and test that unless you crack it and go in there and there's an actual button for you to look at. But who wants to go and mess around with this, having to, unfold your bike to access your battery, when you could just flip around here? You've got this up here telling you what your battery cell life is, and you can come down here and hit this little button, and this gives you another indicator to tell you how much is in your cell. I just like having access to it. If I need to get it out, I don't necessarily want to have to crack my bike open and balance it on my knee and try to balance it and get the battery out, I could just come up here and unfold the seat and put the key in here and just pull it out and take it out and charge it or swap it out with another cell. This is a lot easier access for me, and I believe that it balances out the bike and doesn't put all that weight up into the front. I think right here this is going to, you know, create a better equilibrium in the bike, having it underneath your seat. The next thing I like about this bike is the app. I never had a bike yet that had a phone app control, and this bike communicates via Bluetooth with your Heybike application, which is right here. And through this application, you can jump in and adjust your specs on the bike. So if we go up here, we hit this little spot button here, you're going to have everything. This has the ability to lock your bike. And so if you walk away from this bike and you stay away for so long, the bike will automatically lock. And if somebody were to try to take your bike, they would only be able to turn it on for 15 seconds and the bike would automatically lock itself back up again, so they wouldn't get full mode on it. You can control that through here. There's a proximity setting to where as you come closer to the bike, when the bike is in a standby mode, the bike will automatically detect the proximity that you are in via this phone. The bike will come on and allow you to ride, and it will remember all of the settings within this phone. You see right here, the proximity lock. You can turn it on or off. And then you can go into the bike settings right here where you go to personalize. And as you can see here, you just slide your bar up and down. You can just slide your finger up and down to change how fast you want the bike to go. And I currently have it in miles per hour, maximum speed 28. And then if you come down here, you can see, you can set your modes. You can set it up to like 5 different speed levels. And then you could change how much power you want or how fast you want the bike to go within each of these levels. So I really like the fact that I can personalize my riding experience using this application. And yeah, it's just another Bluetooth feature that I think is really awesome that is given to you on the Mars 2.0. But the biggest benefit and the biggest pro is going to come at the end of the video. But first, let's go ahead and get into the cons. What are the cons that I have about this bike? One of the number one cons that I have about this bike is going to be the battery sag that I would get on this. Okay, so when I would ride this bike a little bit here, when I rode this bike and I turned it on, what I was getting on this here is that, like right now, after everything has settled down, it only shows that we have, through all of the testing that we've done, it shows that we're down only 1 tick and that the battery voltage is 48.7. But all throughout this test, I was seeing this battery voltage fluctuate from like 3 ticks down and then recover to like 0 to full bar, to 3 ticks down to 1 tick down. And it was just kind of all over the place. So, you know, the battery sag right now, I don't know if the controller, I don't know if the display is having a problem trying to decipher what is in the battery. But this right here was just a little bit confusing to me. You know, when I use the throttle for longer periods, it seems to put a big drain on the battery and sag it. But then when I stop and get off the throttle and I start pedaling it, it seems to recover and come all the way back up again. I am a big fan of e-bike racks because it allows me the ability to put my bike bag on here. And you know, like my bike bag right here, it has all my cameras and stuff that I use to just film this video right here for the review. And if I didn't have that, I would have to utilize a backpack and have to take that thing on and off, and on and off would be a pain. The only problem I had here is this new design that they have for this, what they call a pegboard. For me, it was a little bit of a pain trying to get these straps in, because although I could get it in, come through, I have to come back around the buckle and push it back down through here again and attach it. And it was kind of a pain to get through on this side, especially having to work it in was kind of tedious. But I mean, once you get it on and you leave it on, it shouldn't be a pain. But for anybody that wants to quickly attach and detach your bike bag, having these slits really tight like this right here where you cannot feed it might be a little bit of it might be a little aggravating to you. But yeah, that was my second. The third thing that I had was the brakes on it felt a little bit spongy to me. I've used hydraulic brakes that locked up well, and I've used mechanical brakes that has also locked up well. And this one right here, it just I have to put in a little bit more hand grip power in order to get this to lock up. So that was the only other concern that I had right there, was having to apply extra force on these mechanical brakes in order to get these calipers to lock. But that being said, this bike is an absolute improvement over the first Mars. And the big kibosh here, guys, is that this thing is on a special for Black Friday, and let me show you what we got. Alrighty, folks, we are on the Heybike website, and as you guys can see, they are having a humongous Black Friday special right now. And if we scroll on down here to the Mars 2.0, you can clearly see they had this bike on sale at one point for $14.99. During this Black Friday special, they've dropped off $400 off the Mars 2.0, and it is down to $1,099, man. And it gets even better. If you use my affiliate link and in the promo code key in VegasDtech, you will get an additional $100 savings off of this bike, which will bring it down to $999. And guys, let me tell you, this bike for $999, it is a no-brainer. So guys, if you are interested in picking up a bike, man, utilize this Black Friday promotion special and jump on this deal. Alrighty guys, so that's everything I have for you today on the Mars 2.0. If you like the Mars and you'd like to pick one of these up for yourself, use my affiliate link down in the description below. It'll take you right to the website. Like I said before, this bike right here is normally $14.99. It's currently $1,099, and if you use my special promo code VegasDtech in the promo box, you will get an additional $100 off, which is going to bring this bike down to $999. And guys, that is the big kibosh. For $999, this bike is a steal, and it's only available on the Black Friday promotion. So anyways, folks, if you found any of this information beneficial or useful, please do me a kindness, like and subscribe, and I will continue doing my very best to seek out bargains, promotions, and deals to help benefit you. Thank you so much again, guys. You're watching VegasDtech. I'm Joey. I will catch you guys on the next video. You guys be well. Bye now.